Player Supreme Show. I'm Player Supreme. Yeah, that's the good old days, fellas. And even brothers had to, take a hat off to that song, because that song was pretty good shit back in the days. So I'm going to be sharing some information from my new book that's out, which is on charisma. And I'm going to be talking about the ABCs, basics of charismatic communication. We're going to start with charismatic basic A, which is about letting your voice come from deep within you, involving your body. Now, it's more than likely, or more likely than not, you don't involve your body in your speaking very much right now. In fact, a lot of you probably take shallow breaths, and when you speak, the resonance of your voice probably comes mainly from your throat, your neck, and head area, rather than your chest or deeper in your body, like you just saw me do, which is not good, brothers. Not good at all. You got to remember, I'm an award-winning public speaker. So what you got to do is practice deep breathing more and practice letting sound come out of that deeper place within you. So I'm going to give you guys an exercise to do, straight out of my book. Exercise. It's called Open Up and Say Ah. I want you to try breathing deeply and say ah. With each breath, letting the sound come out of a lower place in your body. Then try speaking. You'll find that your voice is more resonant and easier to listen to, especially if you have one of those, no offense, I don't mean to get racial, please forgive me, but when those typical Caucasian, American Caucasian sounding voices. Now the Russians have got great voices for depth. Not the accent's fucked. No offense to you guys, Pretty Boy and the rest of you Russians, but your accent is jacked. I can't understand a fucking word that one dude says on YouTube, but that's because I'm not used to any of the Slavic type languages or whatever you guys descended from. But I will give you guys props on, I have yet to meet a Russian that sound like an American white guy. So most American white guys, your voices are jacked. Jacked. And if you tend to speak more than one language, that's jacked. Also, Hispanic males coming out of Mexico, they tend to have higher voices also. So you want to definitely do these exercises too, because you guys know your voices are kind of high also. Which means you basically, because of the language, you resonate from your nose area. I know it's Jovina. You guys notice her voice? That's why I was making fun of every time like this. She talks from way up here. And it's because of the language that she speaks is Portuguese, and it comes from up here. And she sounds like this all the time. Hi, this is Jovina, and this is your consultation. Calm. Reminds me of some nerd. Female nerd. If only she had a brain. Alright. But anyway, if you do this every day, after a while, your habit of breathing will change and your vocal tone will change along with it. I did these exercises a long time ago, but I already had kind of a deeper voice anyway. A heavy voice, as they used to call it on the phone. On the phone, I do good phone. I do really good phone on women. Women get off on it. Because it's heavy and it's soft and that they like that shit. But you can practice this exercise wherever's convenient, in your car, on your way to work, in the shower in the morning, or wherever you happen to be. I used to do it before. I always did a vocal warm-up before I taught aerobics on the way down there. And I learned that from acting class also and studying public speaking. So I would practice doing that exercise is my first one to find my bass range. And then I would do word exercise like She Sells Seashells by the Seashore or Rubber Baby Buggy Bumpers. And the shrill girls mastered and giggled around him as he ran with his patched pants falling, something like that. what you want to do if you want to work on your, especially for black fellas, we have it real bad. It's called lazy mouth. And when I was going through radio school, all the black guys had it. The white guys, they could breeze right through it, but they called all of us black guys, myself included, out on this shit. We speak with a lazy mouth. So if you put like something in your mouth, something in your mouth while you talk, and practice this one. Rubber baby buggy bumpers. Rubber baby buggy bumpers. Or she sells seashells by the seashore. She sells, can't do it slow. She sells seashells by the seashore. These are exercises that actors do and singers and people that use their voice. Okay? But enunciation is very important. And I got to remember to clean mine up at times. I tend to speak too fast and my words run together. And that's one of the things I've got to get back into retraining myself to watch. Because I just released a very powerful program on public speaking, which everybody needs some of, no matter what line of work you're in. Like, people that do wedding speeches, you got a wedding speech to do. I'm going to show you how to do that in 3 days and not even be nervous. Same stuff I did with Jovina. You guys saw me take her from a beginner to a very competent speaker. And it wasn't the Toastmaster stuff she was doing. She was listening to me. I was training her. And I did it real fast. I showed her how to write her speech real fast, like I'm doing this program. I got to look over my shoulder video where I do it within 30 minutes. I got a 45-minute speech right there. Bam, that fast. Or as long as I want it to be. Okay, let's get back to this topic though. Now, communication, this one's called Communication Basic B. Speak with excitement. And it's a shame that many people who have been told they lack charisma have usually gotten into the habit of never showing any real excitement about anything. And they end up with those boring, monotone voice. They become those boring, monotone dudes. Charismatic, attractive people, if you pay attention, on the other hand, are good at conveying their enthusiasm about things in their lives by the way that they speak. You can learn, in other words, to do this by practicing speaking excitedly about things. So we're going to try an exercise called Get the Needle in the Red Zone. I want you to imagine that there is a gauge just strapped to your forehead that registers the excitement output of your voice. Now, if your charisma quotient is low, the needle on your gauge will stay low also. Your job in becoming more charismatic is to learn how to get so excited about something that the gauge explodes. And you do this by practice, fellas. So choose a topic and spend 1 minute talking about that topic with enthusiasm. Really let yourself go and get excited about it. It doesn't matter if you're talking about baseball, Star Wars, Raul, or anyone else. If you're married, your spouse, isn't us. Your business or world politics. Doesn't matter. The subject doesn't matter nearly as much as your ability to convey excitement about it. Now, as you practice speaking excitedly, you're going to find that you feel more animated and exciting in all of your conversations when you put this practice to work. And this will make you become more charismatic. So I want you to pause the program now and make sure you do this exercise too. Also, make sure, I forgot to mention it, but make sure you pause and do that last exercise. Do them both, the ah and everything else that we've been talking about. Okay? So let's do this exercise now. Pause it and come on back and we'll do one more exercise. Welcome back. Now, we're going to do Communication Basic C, which is called Don't Be Wishy-Washy. when I was researching for this book, I found that a lot of people who come across as boring and unfocused were not rewarded during their formative years, so I'm told, for speaking with certainty. I misspelled that in the book. I do apologize. With certainty or decisiveness. As a result, they've come to believe that the best way to get along in life was to stay under the radar. My lurkers, that's probably what is wrong with you guys. But I found that they never appear too committed to anything. In the book I mentioned are creepers, are lurkers, what I call the creepers. That's you guys who are listening who don't participate. This is one of your problems. And that's why you lack charisma. You're so busy trying to get along so you don't make waves. So, continuing. And it's okay to get along if you don't mind being completely devoid of charisma and all the benefits that charisma brings. Living your life kind of like a human slug. Oh no, I got something even better than that. When I watched that series of TV shows called Dating in the Dark, the one girl said this about one of the guys that she was talking about. And he happened to be the nerd that was on there. You spot the nerd, you see the show, you guys seen them. That's what nerds are like. If you're a nerd, that's what you're like. And she said, the personality of an ear. Whoa. That one stuck with me. The personality of an ear. And I can't say any more than that. When it comes to describing nerds, that's very true. I'm sorry. I apologize to those of you guys who fall in that category. She's kind of right. Personality of an ear. But if you, on the other hand, if you'd rather do more than just get along, if you really like to be charismatic in your personal and business life, let me say that again, business life, because I'm working on my enunciation again, I think it's time to start experimenting with speaking with certainty. And I misspelled it again. God dang it. Well, certainty. You know, I got it right. There it is. So we're going to do an exercise. It's called remove and replace. Sounding wishy-washy is very much a function of the language you use when you express yourself. Okay? The easiest way to stop appearing to be drifting without a rudder is to remove the words, well, I guess, from your vocabulary. Now, if you took my 51-day confidence kicker program, then you know about this exercise. You got to start making tiny verbal changes because these can have a huge impact in how dynamic and charismatic you seem to other people. But waste removal is just half the task. When you break a habit, like that saying goes, you got to replace it with another behavior. So when you break a habit like, I guess, you simply can't stop the behavior. You've got to replace one behavior with another. And as I said in my book, I'm relearning this truth as I'm replacing my fixation on the pleasure of pancakes with doing crunchies in the morning. And I've been doing, my back feels wonderful. I've been stretching every morning. It feels good to be back into a routine again. And I'm getting the pleasure of losing weight because I've been dropping some lbs and lowering my back pain. So I replaced one habit with another habit. And I'm one of those addictive personality types. That's why I stayed away from drugs. I stayed away from drinking. I did become addicted to sex. That I did not stay away from. So I have to replace one addiction with another for my personality type. But when it comes to radiating charisma, you should remove all words of doubt and replace them with words of certainty. Instead of saying, I guess so, I guess so, yeah, I guess so, try saying yes. Instead of saying, I guess that'd be okay, try saying, that's what I want. That's what I want. Instead of saying, I guess we could sit over there, try saying, let's sit over there. Some people have natural charisma in their speaking, and the rest of us have to practice. And I'm going to stop reading from sharing from my book right here, because the next exercise is the Charisma Step 2. And I go into explain different types of charisma: crossover charisma, cumulative charisma, intellectual charisma, intrinsic charisma, the legendary, mythic charisma, the stuff legends are made of, Goliath, Paul Bunyan type of thing, media charisma, money charisma, performance charisma, political charisma, scientific charisma, because there is scientific charisma, by the way, situational charisma, spiritual charisma. I broke it down in the book here. Sports charisma. And then I give you an exercise to find your charisma source, because we all have a source that we can tap into, is my point. All of you guys have a source of charisma that you can tap into right now to make your lives and yourselves more charismatic. You just got to find out what it is. But all of you guys have it. This book is not just for anyone. It's for everyone to develop their charisma. And this book is on sale now. I am going to be raising the price before I go on vacation. So you got a little bit of time to get it, think about it. I'm not going to be sharing any more sections out of it and stuff like that. If you want it, you want to develop your charisma, you'll go get it. That's the way I see things. You won't waste time around. The way I see things, fellas, okay, you can do things the hard way, which is go out and do your own research and develop your own exercises and programs and all that kind of stuff. Or you can do things the easy way and pay me to let me do it for you. I've done all the work for you. All you got to do is go get it and do your own homework with it. Okay? That goes for everything that I put out. You can do stuff the hard way, or you can do them the easy way. You can let me do all the research and work for you, put it together, or you can do it yourself the hard way. And the choice is yours. Okay? The choice is totally up to you. Until next time, fellas.